Hello, friends, and welcome to your practice for today. So, for many of us, when the body is soft and relaxed, grounded, and in a sense of receptivity, we're often much more easily able to step into the presence of our being, the essence of our true self, the spiritual heart, if you will. So together we're just going to move through a very simple practice to ground, to relax, and to quiet the mind. That being said, I'd like to remind you that I am simply a guide, and if at any time throughout this practice something doesn't feel right, or it doesn't even necessarily have to feel wrong, it just might not feel like what your body needs in this moment, then I encourage you to listen to that natural intuition as it rises from the body, and to allow a spontaneity to also come into your practice. No one knows your body better than you, and everything that I say here today is simply a suggestion. So welcome. I'm grateful to have you here, and I hope that together we can come into a space of openness, really, as well as ultimately the simple presence of our being. So wherever you are, you can come into a cross-legged position, a kneeling position, even sitting in a chair, whatever works for you. You can lie down, but again, if you do lie down, I'd like to encourage you to only do so if you're certain that you won't fall asleep. And then you can close your eyes or have a soft gaze at nothing in particular, really, allowing the vision to blur slightly if the eyes are open. Relaxing the muscles in the face, around the eyes, in the jaw. Become aware of your breath. And the smooth, cool inhalation, and the warm, soft exhalation. If you'd like, you can exhale through the mouth, allowing some nice audible sighs to come out of the mouth. Inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the mouth at your own pace. Inhaling will bring those shoulders up around the ears, and exhaling will roll them down the spine. Inhaling, squeezing them forward and then up around the ears. Exhaling, squeezing them down along the back of the spine. Inhaling up, exhaling down, moving at your own pace. And those exhales can still come out of the mouth or out of the nose, whatever you prefer. And changing directions. Shoulders coming up along the back of the spine and then down and forward. Inhaling up, exhaling down. Very good. And inhaling will lift the left hand up overhead, and exhaling will lean over to the right side. If you're in a chair, you may want to just place one hand on the lap, or you can grab a hold of some pillows and blankets if you're on the ground, or bringing the hand to the earth. Reaching from the left hip to the left fingers. Left hip is rooting down towards the chair or the ground. Left fingertips are reaching out to the side. Few big breaths here. Inhaling, we rise. Exhaling, we drop the left hand. Take a moment here, noticing the difference between the left and the right side, not judging or criticizing, just simply witnessing. Inhaling, the right hand comes up. Exhaling, leaning over to the left side now. And again, a nice line from the right hip all the way up along the right side body to the right fingertips. Feel that big breath. Inhaling, we rise. Exhaling, we drop the hands. Always in these moments of stillness, we're just simply resting as the perceiver, that which witnesses the movement in the body, the movement in the mind, and in the breath. Here there is no right or wrong, no good or bad, just simply watching this movement happen within the open, spacious awareness that we are. On an inhale, we'll push the chest forward and then slowly bring it over to one side, exhaling as the chest and the ribs come back, inhaling as we circle forward again, moving at your own pace, drawing circles with your heart, inhaling forward, exhaling back. And the opposite direction, inhaling forward and exhaling back, still moving with your own breath. And when you're ready, slowly coming back to stillness. From here, we're going to rock up onto a tabletop. So coming down from your chair, if you were on your chair, removing any props you may have had while you were cross-legged. Hands and fingers are spread wide. There's a slight bend in the elbows here, and we've got a nice line from wrist to elbow to shoulder. And then again from shoulders to hips, and then hips to knees, drawing a square with the body. The gaze is between the fingers, in the middle of the mat. Engage the core slightly here and reach the head of the crown of the head and the tailbone in opposite directions. Feeling strength here, feeling sturdiness, feeling grounded. Feel free to have some of those big exhalations out of the mouth with an audible sigh. And when you're ready, on your next inhale, that tailbone will turn up first and slowly move through the spine until the crown of the head comes up. Exhaling, the tailbone turns down. It moves like a wave through the spine to the crown of the head. Going at your own pace. Inhaling, crown of the head, tailbone turn up. Exhaling, tailbone and crown of the head turn down. Moving from the base of the spine always. We're not moving the tailbone and the crown of the head at the same time. This way we avoid any crunching in the middle of the back. And if you'd like, you can go ahead and get a bit creative, allowing these circles to go in whatever way your body feels. Maybe taking time to check out your tail on one side or the other. Rocking the weight forward and back. A few more big breaths here. And when you're ready, coming back to center, grounding down, bringing that gaze between the hands. Inhaling, we'll lift the right leg up towards the sky, toes pointing down, engaging the foot. And on your next exhale, step that right foot over to the left side of the mat. Gaze can come over the left shoulder, over the left hip. Find your breath. leg up. Exhaling, stepping it down. Centering here in our tabletop. And again, on your next inhale, left heel up, toes engaged. And on your next exhale, step the foot over to the right side of the mat and bring your gaze over the right shoulder. Nice, steady breathing here. Inhaling, left leg up. Exhaling, bringing the knee back down to meet the right. From here, we'll inhale and lift that left arm up to the sky. Exhaling, weave the left arm, threading it underneath of the right, and we'll come down onto our left shoulder. Turning onto our left side of our head or our left cheek. Right hand can rest on the ground, or it can come up to the hip, or it can come up overhead. Striking whatever pose works for you, finding that breath, that steadiness and ease. Right hand comes down to the ground. Inhaling, we'll rise back up. And if you'd like, you can reach the left hand once more to the sky. And then exhaling, bringing it down. Preparing to move over to the opposite side now. Inhaling, right leg up. That's actually your arm, reaching your right arm up. Exhaling, weaving that right arm down, coming onto the right shoulder. Left hand comes to the same place that it was in the opposite side. Find your breath. Left hand comes down if it isn't already. Inhaling, we rise up, reach to the sky with the right hand once more. And then exhaling to tabletop. Keeping the knees and the hips stacked in a line, we'll slowly walk those hands out, coming into a puppy dog. Coming down as far as feels comfortable for you. You can also put a chair or some blocks or some bolsters in front of you so that you can rest the arms in kind of a pillow. Finding that breath. Releasing any muscles that are engaged unnecessarily here. Maybe tension in the face, tension in the shoulders, tension in the hands or the belly. Use the breath to encourage the body to just soften and surrender into this posture. And slowly we're going to shift back into a child's pose. This can be a more open or expansive child's pose. That would be with the knees spread and the arms out. Or it can be a more introverted and kind of internal child's pose, bringing the knees together and then bringing the hands down towards the toes and coming forward. Doing whatever one you feel you need in this moment, kind of being your own self, prescribing yourself what you feel you need. One bringing in openness, one bringing more of an internalness. And then just resting there. Noticing the breath. Maybe feeling into the depths of the heart here. The mind can still be racing, thoughts can still be happening, and yet there's a peace in the heart. And each thought that rises, we may notice it. We don't need to stop it or make it go away. We don't even need to turn the mind off. We just choose to direct our attention away from the stories and the chaos of the mind towards the simplicity of the heart. This can be the physical heart. This can be the sense of love or gratitude. It can also just be this quiet presence. Taking a few more breaths here. And slowly, very slowly, we can come back up into a kneeling posture. And then from there, we're going to come right down onto our back, keeping the knees together, the feet on the ground. Hands can come out to a T. And then we'll just lift the hips slightly and come over onto the right hip, bringing the knees over to the right side. The hands can stay in a T, or we can also bring one hand over top of the knees and one over the hips. And the gaze can rest wherever it does naturally, or we can also look out over the left shoulder. Big belly breaths wherever you are, full inhalations and exhalations. Letting out any final sighs. 2 more big breaths. And on your next inhale, we can slowly walk those knees back to center, lift the hips, come down onto the left hip, and then rock the knees over to the left side now. Taking any variation with the hands that you did on the opposite side, finding your breath. Fully expanding through the belly on an inhale and fully sinking through the belly on an exhale. Two more big breaths. And then on your next inhale, we unwind, come back to center. And here I'd like to suggest that if you have pillows or blankets, that you place them under the knees. We're going to bring the palms of the feet together and allow the knees to fall out to the sides. So it can be great here to have this supported. Even if it feels okay to fully open the legs here, such as I have, I still would love, even for myself, I don't have the props here in the moment, but to place some blankets or rolled up towels or anything here, just so we can feel the groundedness, like feeling supported in the legs. So often we're confused in yoga, thinking that we're trying to achieve something, or that there's some pose that we need to be working towards, and that props are somehow, getting in the way of that. But in actuality, the props are so supportive, even if you are incredibly flexible and even hypermobile, and they're teachers for us in a way. So many of us struggle to receive aid or assistance, to ask for help. And the courage that it can take, especially in a class filled with other people, to grab those props and support yourself without fearing what others might think, is a beautiful thing. And really it takes stepping into the power of yourself to do so. Hands can rest over at the sides, or one hand over the heart, one over the belly. Or you can also do as I've done and make a little pillow at the hands and just recline here for a moment. Notice the breath. You can slightly turn up the corners of your cheeks, feeling grateful for this body, for this moment here, this ability to practice, for technology, providing this opportunity for us to connect despite distance, despite time. There's magic here in this moment. Take a big inhale and feel that magic fill your lungs. And as you exhale, feel yourself emptying of any stories of the mind that tell you otherwise. Inhaling the magic, exhaling the stories of the mind. And sighs are always welcome. 2 more big breaths. Inhaling, we'll slowly close those legs and come into a Shavasana, corpse pose. Walking the legs out, bringing the hands down to the sides. You can come flat on your back, or you can also place a blanket or a bolster underneath of the knees. This provides a nice bend in the knees and releases tension from the back. Wherever you are, just take a moment to rock the head from side to side. Turning this head from side to side releases the tension in the neck and tells the parasympathetic nervous system that it's time to rest, time to digest not only our food, but our day, our emotions, our thoughts, to let it go. And when you're ready, slowly coming into stillness. Feeling that with each exhalation, the body softens. And with each inhalation, you bring in this healing vitality. Exhaling and softening, sinking down into the earth. Inhaling a healing vitality, an aliveness, a freshness. And like this, we slowly dissolve the stories of yesterday and our plans for tomorrow with each exhale. And with each inhale, we bring in this divine possibility for this moment, for right now, in all of its splendor. Exhaling and releasing yesterday and tomorrow. Inhaling, coming into the presence of this moment. And the body softens from the toes and the feet, the lower legs and knees, and the upper legs and glutes, hips, thighs, pelvis, all of this dissolving, sinking down into the earth. The belly, the back, ribs, shoulder blades, chest, softening, sinking down into the earth. Tips of the fingers, palms of the hands. Lower arms, elbows, upper arms. Softening, letting go, coming into the simplicity of being here now. Chin, jaw, cheeks and lips, nose, cheekbones, eyes, temples, eyebrows, forehead, sides of the head, ears, back of the head, top of the head, the whole body, soft, relaxed, surrendered to the present moment, open to the possibility of your own presence. Thoughts may come, emotions may come, but you stay attentive to this subtle presence of your being. Still resting as awareness, still resting as the presence. Slowly movement comes into fingers and into toes. And the body takes any final stretch that it feels called to do, and we don't step back into person or doer, we just watch the natural wisdom of the body as it inhales and stretches. And when you're ready, it rolls over to one side. You take one big, long inhalation and exhalation. Maybe sighing out of the mouth. And taking your time, you can slowly come up into a seated posture. Being gentle, being mindful. Still resting as the witness of all of these changes. Bringing our hands to heart center in prayer mudra. Take a moment to bow your head in reverence to your own heart. This sacred temple in the center of your chest. A holy shrine of peacefulness. May we each remember that this space is always here, beckoning for us to come home, to unravel and release the stories of the mind, and to come into the simplicity of being here in this moment. Taking a big inhalation and a big exhalation. Thank you for being here. Thank you for taking this time for yourself. Thank you, thank you, thank you.